It's Anime Gamer back with another video. Gonna do part 2 to what I was talking about the other day. So yeah, let me just get this posted within my Discord server and then we will get on to the topic. Let's see. Okay, copy, close. And then copy, paste, server. Yeah, so this topic here is just there's a lot to cover within this topic, so I mean there's a lot. So I just can't here. Yeah, so anyway, we're back at it again, y'all. People are not the same in 2025. This has been going on for a long time, quite a while. And people are just cold, y'all. They really are. Like, people will also, it's like everybody today wants to see someone fail. They want to see someone fall, something bad happen to somebody, you name it. So when you go and tell someone, this could be a quote unquote friend, colleague, coworker, family member, any of that. These people, when you tell them, they will sit there and they will try to de-escalate your win. They will try to de-escalate your victory and how you had something good going, something good happening to you, so whatever it is, something that just you view as good, that is happening to you. These people will continue to say, oh, well, it's not that much. And then what they will do is that they will try to switcheroo, and then they will try to talk about what their wins are, like what happened to them, what they're doing. And this is very bad in 2025. Like this was bad even when I was young. Like it was bad when I was young, but like it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same when in the 2000s, because a lot of times you had a victory, you would actually have some people celebrate with you. You would have some people say, oh, that's cool. And it wasn't a fake, it wasn't fake the way they said it or fake the way they meant it. Nowadays, it is. And it's like, in today's world in 2025, people, if they see someone doing better than somebody else, oh man, you're like the devil, like literally, like they will try to tarnish and tear down everything that you are saying. They hate your good news. They're mad at your good news because their life is pathetic. These narcissists, their lives are pathetic. These control freaks, their lives are pathetic. The list goes on and on and on. You know, these toxic men, these toxic women, fake people, all of it, they're all pathetic. And another thing is like, I was in the store yesterday and I was recording quite a couple of YouTube videos, to be honest. And people was like, some people was kind of looking at me weird, like they've never seen anybody record a YouTube video or something. I don't know. But then it was like this one person, it was weird because he come over there, and I don't know if someone told him that I was recording something or what. But he come over there. I'm not going to say where he came over because that will spoil the video that I haven't uploaded yet. And he come over there. He's like, "Hey, do you need anything?" And I was like, "No, man." I said, "I'm good. I'm just shooting a YouTube video." And he was like, "Oh, okay, you're good." Yeah, no, I'm sorry. And I literally was recording that whole YouTube video, and I was thinking to myself, wow, that is a first. You know, most of the time, like you would see like people be like, "Oh, you shouldn't be doing that," and the guy was actually really respectful. So that came as a shock. That came as a huge shock to me because you just don't see that much. But anyway, this guy actually shared some tips with me on how to get a GoPro because I had bought one of those selfie sticks to where I can take and record videos like topics like this while I'm out just kind of walking around the neighborhood. So I bought this selfie stick and he started telling me about this stuff. And I was like, you know, I really appreciate that, man. I said, you seem like a really nice guy. He's like, yeah, I appreciate it. And, you know, that was a pretty good interaction. You don't get that type of interaction very much at all in 2025. Now, this family, they'll be the first to betray you. It's fun, but family will betray you before anyone else. Then your friends, your coworkers, and all them. And it's like everybody is betraying people. Family is not family anymore. Friendships are transactional, acquaintanceship. And it's like, you know, what can you do for me? Like I said before, it's like, what can you do for me? And if you can't do anything for me, like buy me this or get me that or spend all this money, then yeah, we're not friends. You know, I mentioned that in the first part of this topic. And it just really disgusts me the how people can honestly type of stuff. Like, because if a person is going to sit here and say, "Hey, you know, what all can I get from you?" That right there alone is a red flag. You know, and like, you know, it's cool. Like if you want to like spend a little bit of money on your friend or your family member or whatever, or your spouse. But it's like, you know, when it becomes frequent like that, that's an issue. That is an issue. And, you know, it's like, I don't understand why people have changed this quickly. And this is what I will say. I will say it's because of a smartphone, but it's more than that. The smartphone plays a huge role in it. I will say that. It plays a huge role in it. And when you're sitting here and you're thinking, you know, say like you go to a like a water park, right? You go to a water park and you go and you get let's just say you go by yourself. Say you got nobody to go with, right? And you go by yourself and you will look around all over the place. And you're like, you'll sit there and look around and you'll be like, you know what? I'm all alone. I'm all alone. Here's what I will say. So there is a saying that bad company ruins good morals. Whoever came up with that saying is honestly a genius, because that is true. I would rather be alone than to sit here with fake people, fake friends, fake family, fake anything. Like any type of fake person, I would not want to be around. We're at a time in history that video game characters honestly seem more real than actual people. And this is actually really sad. This is very pathetic, actually, because no, you can't trust nobody anymore. You can't just give out trust anymore. Like, it isn't going to work, because if you give out your trust to these people, you're going to end up hurting yourself every single time. And it's like, how many times have y'all been hurt over and over and over by giving your trust out to these people that you thought were your friend, and then it's like, guess what? They wasn't your friend. They wasn't your friend. They were fake. They were fake all along. They were playing you. They were conning you. It's like, the world is full of fake people, gang stalkers, narcissists, love bombers, people who do roaching. I could go on. It's like there's just so much to cover. It's not even funny. It's that bad. Like, I really wish that it would be like it was back in the day, but it's not. Those days are gone, y'all. They're gone. And the thing is like, people that actually, genuinely connect and get a good connection, that is rare. That is rare. So if you're looking for a good community and you are a weeb or a otaku, or you play anime games and you love anime, you're Christian, hit me up, y'all. Hit me up. I've got a Discord server for y'all. It's a very good server. It's a community that I have built. It's a server that I have built. And the people that's in there seem to really like that community. So if you're in search of a community like that, make sure you hit me up about it. Anyway, it's, I'll just have to confirm that you obviously fit the profile to join the Discord server. But like I said, you can comment on the video, somehow get a hold of me like that. It doesn't matter, like, if you want to join, you can. If you don't, you don't. But you do have to meet the criteria. But anyway, back to the topic at hand. I also seen something at the store that I thought was really, really crazy. And y'all know how I talk about the toy aisle being empty. Well, I actually finished up a video in Walmart that I was streaming. And me and my wife went to go shopping after that, and then she had said something to me. She goes, you know, how you was talking about the toy aisle, you know, the same can be said for the arts and crafts aisle. And I sat there and I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? That's right. That's true. I never see anybody in that aisle, ever. It's like, you know, a lot of stuff, you know, yeah, sure, some people go to it, but it's like, for the most part, every time I've been in there, it's always cram packed, like merchandise just everywhere in that aisle. Like it's just overstocked. So it's like, that actually made me think because that's true. The arts and crafts aisle, y'all, is coloring books, stuff like that. I've seen countless places to where that stuff is just overflowing in the aisles. Like, and eventually they just throw it out because nobody hardly is purchasing that stuff. Because it's like they got coloring books on the phone. People would literally rather color on a screen than grab some crayons and then grab some paper and color. Literally, that's the world we live in 2025, y'all. Literally. And it's like, I remember when coloring was extremely popular on paper. And it's just like, these people, you know, a lot of people ain't going out anymore. And it's like, you know, used to, I remember Walmart would be cram packed. Literally. Only one area of that store is cram packed anymore, and that's the food area where you can buy groceries. That is the only area that's actually packed anymore. The electronics aren't packed anymore. The tire, you know, changing tires and all that, that place isn't packed anymore. The fishing ain't packed anymore. The toys ain't packed anymore. The arts and crafts ain't packed anymore. Clothes aren't packed anymore. I mean, you'll see like some people in the clothes, but like, you know, not like a whole herd of people in there, like not like you used to. And people are not going out. It's like people, they're so stuck up now, they stick to themselves. They just want to stay at home all the time, order everything online. They don't want to deal with nobody. And it's like, you know, my Walmart actually has like 7 or 8 self-checkouts. And then like there will be like actually 2 or 3, 2 most of the time, real people on the other side doing, you know, scanning items. And it's like, you know, I've been noticing a drastic decline within several stores, several of these people scanning items. It's mostly self-checkouts. Actually, Dollar General is one of them. It's like, you know, almost every Dollar General I've ever been in, whatever town I'm in, it's only got one damn worker scanning items, and then all the other lines are empty besides the self-checkout. And it's like, you know, what in the hell is going on here? And it's like, you know, honestly, I think self-checkouts are very close to replacing a real life worker in 2025, y'all. It may be it may be a couple more years, but it's coming. It's coming. It's almost here. Like, sad but true. It's almost here. And I'll tell you another thing, y'all. Like, it really pains me to sit here and talk about this because it's very bothersome. Like, I don't understand, like, exactly what good can come out of this, because it's like, if you sit here and actually sit and think about it, genuinely think about this, y'all, like, most people aren't even there for you. You know, regardless if it's family. Sure, you may talk to them, but that don't mean they're there for you. Who's the first person? Who are the people that come to you when it's raining? Who are the people that come to you when things aren't going so well? Who are the people that come to you when just life feels like it's against you? Where are they at, y'all? Because I don't see them. A lot of other people, a lot of y'all don't see them. Nobody cares anymore. We are literally, there's a guy I watch and he hit the nail on the head. We are literally living in the worst time in history for friends, family, relationships, dating, all of it. It is literally the worst time to be alive for all of this, literally. Like, there's no getting around it. Like, you really can't win for lose, because if you go out here and you say you want to get a date, if you're a man, good luck, because especially within the Western world, because it's like, these women over here, all they care about is money. Literally, most of them, that's all they care about. So it's like, and it makes you look around. It makes you think, if that guy became broke, he went bankrupt, or something happened and he lost his job, would his wife still stay with him? Seriously, I don't know if y'all have ever asked that question, but it really makes you think, because in today's world, the way things are going with dating, especially for men, it really makes you think, because if you can't provide like an expensive dinner, all this expensive stuff, and it's like, yeah, they don't want you. And I'm blessed to have a wife that is not like that. Um, I'm blessed to have one that's not like that, because, I've dealt with women like that. I've dealt with women who just cheat all the time, and, they're just talking to other men, and, on the dating apps. And it's like, it's an evil world we live in, y'all. And the same can be said for men too. Like, there's a lot of men doing stuff like that too. So it's not just women. And to me, there's already a decline in having birth in America and several other countries. This problem is just going to get worse. Like, I can't stress that enough. Like, it is going to get worse. As time goes on, as the years progress, this issue will get worse. Really, all of these issues will get worse, to be honest. I mean, I wish I could say that they would become better, but the thing is they're not going to become better, because everything is so effed. And it's like, you try, whether you're trying to get a date, a relationship, or a friendship, try to get your family to understand. It's like they refuse. They will not do it. And another thing is, like, if you try to tell these people what is wrong, then they're going to sit here and probably criticize you. They're going to sit here and tell you that you need to lighten up, stop being serious, or, something of that kind of nature. It's like nobody wants to be serious anymore. Like that, you hear that a lot, like, oh, quit being serious. And it's like, sure, there's a time to cut up and not be serious, but, in a lot of cases, life is kind of serious. A lot of cases it's serious. And it's like, people don't want to be serious anymore. They don't want to commit. They don't want to be serious. They don't want any responsibility, and they just want to just hurt whoever. They don't care. And it also reminds me of what I seen in the store earlier yesterday. And this kid was just walking around the store, and the kid was asking for something. and the parent was like getting really mad just because the kid asked for something. And it's like, like what the actual fuck, y'all? Like, since when is it wrong for a kid to ask their parent for something? Like, I don't understand. Like, and I mean, this parent was not being good to their kid at all. And it's like, a lot of these parents, they're not parents. They can't even be parents. They can't even raise kids. Like, they don't know a single thing about it. Like, it's ridiculous. And what this kid wanted, it wasn't necessarily anything expensive. Like, it was something like in the food aisle. It was something in the food aisle, but it's like, I get if you didn't have the money for it, but clearly this person had money. So it's like, obviously you should have just got it. It was some kind of food or something. Like, that's kind of a need. So it's like, at that point, it's like just child neglect. And you see a lot of that. Like, one time I was actually out walking in my neighborhood, and this kid, he got in the wrong door of the car. And when he got in the wrong door, the parent was just sitting here screaming and cussing, be like, oh, that's the wrong fucking door. Like, that's the wrong door. Get your ass in here. And like, I mean, just wailing at this kid. And this kid was like 4 or 5 years old based on the way he looked. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, man, like, why would you treat a child like that? Like, these people like that, they don't need children. And it's like, people also like that. It makes you wonder, not only were their parents no good, and not only are they no good, but it's like, what about their parents' parents and their parents' parents' parents? Like, it kind of seems like that the cycle just continues to repeat over and over and over. And there's like literally hardly any good people left in the world. And it's very depressing when you think about it. It's very depressing. And when I think about this and I actually look around and just sit here and look around and think, it's like, wow, I honestly know what the Bible means when it says, I'm a stranger in a strange land. Like, I really do. Because it's like, I refuse to associate with fake people. I refuse to give up my peace because of these fake people. I refuse to cave in to their demands. And it's like, hopefully that's what y'all are doing too. And it sickens me to no end, y'all. Like, it really does, because these people, they never stop. They never stop. And it just makes me really question society and humanity as a whole, because society, we have already established, it's effed. Society is screwed. Like, the government is screwed, society is screwed, people are screwed. Like, I mean, mental illness is running rampant, y'all, especially within the Western world. It is running rampant. And it's like, every day it seems like it just gets worse with mental illness or toxic people, narcissism, pathological liars. Like, all this stuff seems to just get worse and worse and worse. And it's like there's no end in sight. And it really makes you question, like, when the hell is there going to be, when is there going to be like some sort of fix to all this? Because it definitely seems like that there's not going to be. And I don't know, y'all. Like, it infuriates me to no end, because I don't know. It's like nobody's real anymore. Nobody's real, and everyone's fake almost. I mean, it's like real people are hard to find. And I'm lucky that I have a Discord server with real people in it. So it's like, if y'all are interested in the server, like I said, shoot me a message, like, for real. Like, if as long as you meet the requirements, you're good to go. But like, It's ridiculous because these people, they it's like, they're almost like the devil. They never rest. Like, and what I mean by that, it's like, sure, they sleep and everything, but it's like, when you're out in public, they're just, it's almost like everybody's a ticking time bomb all the time. Like if you walk around just in a store out in public and watch people, it really shows, like, and I'm not talking about like being stalkerish or anything, but like I'm saying, like, actually, watch them in the parking lot. Be like, as they come out, you'll see they look dead. They literally look dead. And they almost look like zombies from Raccoon City from Resident Evil. It's just like that they just don't eat people. That's the only difference. Like these people are mindless zombies. It's almost like that they don't have a mind of their own to think. They have to have someone think for them, the government or some political party. Like, they can't actually think for themselves. And it's like, people like that, that's where you're definitely going to find a lot of fake people. Politics is fake. A lot of religious people is fake, and a lot of these churches are fake. They eat at our sanity, so there's that. Yeah, exactly, they do. They completely eat at your sanity. And it's like, not only that, but it's like how I mentioned, they're like a ticking time bomb. Like I've seen like somebody like could pull, like if you've ever seen like prank videos, someone could pull a prank on somebody and it's like someone is ready to whip your ass just because you played a prank on them. And it's like both parties here are in the wrong. No, you shouldn't just be walking up to random people in the store and pranking them, but at the same time it's a prank, so why the hell would you want to whip somebody's ass over a prank? It's like, it's stupid. Like, I do not understand why people are so uptight. Like they're so uptight, they're so full of anger, full of bitterness. Like you just one thing is just ready to set them off. And people look miserable. They don't look like they once did. Like if you actually go and watch an 80s music video, you can actually see how happy the people were. Or if you go and watch like old videos of like people in restaurants like Taco Bell back in the 80s, people are talking, people are smiling, they're having genuine conversation, they're actually getting to know one another. It wasn't wrong to walk up to somebody and just say, hey, how you doing? It looked like a fun time to be in. And it's like I've seen a lot of people talk about on those comments that society is dead now. It's nothing like this. That all that stuff they deem as not normal. It's not right. Like you can't even walk up as a man. You can't even walk up to a woman, and then these women will sit here and say, "Don't walk up to me," and then complain at the same time. Oh, well, men are not walking up to me, and it's like, yeah, of course not. Because if they don't walk up to you, they're the bad guy, and if they do walk up to you, you just try to get them for sexual harassment. So it's like, what? There is no, you're the problem. You're the problem because nothing that these people do will please you. It's like you got main character syndrome. And it disgusts me to no end because I miss the world how it used to be. Now in the 2000s, honestly, people, they were kind of pretty uptight, actually, more than I'd like to admit. But it really, really started when Facebook came out. Now, when MySpace was out, it actually wasn't really all that bad. But, when Facebook launched, that's when it started. That is exactly when it started, because that's when a lot of people started staying home on the computer, and then they knew that, and then they put the stuff on the phone, and then that is what completely destroyed society, humanity as a whole. And then that started the whole social media thing. Like, now it's just like that's all anybody ever does is doom scroll. Hell, I've even been in a movie theater and it's like that's what people are doing. They're literally at a movie, paying to watch a movie, but yet they're on their phone doom scrolling. And it's like, well, why didn't you just stay at home? Because It's just like, I would honestly rather the theater be completely empty than have to sit there and see those kinds of people just sit there and just be on their phone while they're sitting there so-called watching a film. Like it makes no sense to me, because if you're going to go watch a film, go watch the film. But it's like, people today, all they want to do now is just stream it at home. They don't want to go out. And it's like, that's the problem with people. They don't want to go out. They don't want to talk to nobody. And when they do, it's gossip. They're fake. People are fake. Like, get this. So I have a person I know who never checks up on me, ever. Never talks to me unless I call first. I've not called this person in months. And this guy, he's got an effed up mindset on a lot of things, in my personal opinion. Thinking, oh, well, you can't be depressed if you got a lot of money. But anyway, he invited me to a cookout. And it's like, I didn't answer it. I'm not going to answer it. And it's literally in 20 days. And it's like, I'm not going. If he messages again about it, I'm not answering, because I do not give a damn about his little get together. Because if he's not there for me, I've got no use for him. They do a lot of talking. Oh, well, what's in it for me? Like, I don't care about no money. I don't care about that. No money is going to ever replace an actual human being being there for me. You can't replace that. Seriously, it's not possible. So I'm not going to go, but like, I think it's so funny that he keeps trying to get me to go to stuff like this. And it's like the only thing he wants me to do is go to his church where I don't belong, where some of their doctrine is very questionable. And that's it. That's the only time. So, and he's really showed his true colors to me, that he's fake. So I don't call him anymore. I don't have nothing to do with him. I don't care. That's the thing. I don't care about talking to him, because I would rather be alone, like I mentioned earlier, than deal with these fake people, y'all. These people, what they do is, you loan someone money, right? Say you loan someone money, and then they'll sit there and try to change it, and then put the blame on you and say you owe them money. And you were the one that loaned it out to them. This is very real today in 2025, y'all. Stuff like that. It doesn't necessarily have to be, it doesn't necessarily have to be like borrowing money. It could literally be anything. Like, it could be, just hanging out or whatever. So it's like, this is what I suggest you all do. If you have a friend and you ask them to hang out, and like you need them or something, or you just want to hang out, and they say, well, I can't do it. I got stuff going on. So what you do, now people say this, they lie about this all the time. So this is what you do. You will use their last 3 words as a question. This will put a spotlight on them that they will feel that they need to answer. So in that situation, if they say, I got stuff going on, you just say, stuff going on. there will be like a silence. They'll start flipping over their words, trembling over their words. They'll feel like, oh, well, I'm gonna have to, tell. Like, so it's like, you'll really understand when you do stuff like that how fake people really are. Like, never in my life did I imagine people would become this fake. Never. Like, I literally feel like I died and went to another planet. Literally. I feel like I've died, went to another planet, and it's like the world I knew no longer exists. The world people knew back in the 80s no longer exists, like for real. And it's very sad. It's very, very sad because you can't go out and meet anybody anymore. You can't go out and converse. You can't hardly do nothing. It's like, if you ever go to a doctor's office, it's really quiet now. Like you might as well just call it a library because it's that quiet. It's as quiet as a library, and it makes you think, why is it quiet? Well, I can tell you why. Because nobody's talking anymore. Nobody's conversing. Very, very little. They're mostly on the cell phone, sitting there to themselves. It's like they honestly pretend that they are the only ones there, that you do not exist. And it's like, yeah, the society's effed. It's effed, y'all. It really is. And there's no end in sight, like I said. So one more thing before I end the stream is when you go to a public event a lot of the time, or a Discord server. I mentioned this in my Discord video. Like a Discord server, there's like several servers who have options, like they'll have channels to where it'll be called introduce yourself. And you'll go and introduce yourself, and then it's like nobody messages you, nobody adds you. All you get is a waving emoji. That's it. That's all people are so lazy to respond, they will only send an emoji. That's how pathetic people have become in 2025. And it's only set to get worse. It's not going to get better. Thinking that it's going to get better, yeah, that's crazy. It's not going to get better. So, and like even people in public, they're going to these events. It's just a bunch of gossip. They're not actually connecting. Like back in the day, all these things, it was like you could meet people at and become good friends with them. Now you can't even approach them, so that's out. But yeah, it's very pathetic times we live in, and anyway, y'all, I'm gonna end this one here. I'll probably end up doing a part 3 to this as well. There's a lot to talk about, so I just can't fit it all in 1 or 2 videos. So unless I stayed on here for like 5-6 hours. So yeah, you got to stay strong, y'all. You got to stay strong, because if you don't, you're going to lose your mind. You're going to lose your mind dealing with these fake people. They ain't worth your peace. They're not worth your mental health. They're not worth your sanity. They ain't worth anything from you. That's the thing. That's not worth anything to you. So you got to cut them out, y'all. If there's fake people in your life, you got to cut them out, regardless of who they are. there's a lot of people will talk about stuff like this, but they will not tell you to cut them out because it's like, oh, you know, you never cut them out. That's bad to do. And it's like, no, if they're fake, if they're narcissists or whatever, you cut them out of your life. End of story. So, yeah. Anyway, hope y'all had fun with this topic. I told y'all I would do a part 2, so now I'm saying I'll do a part 3. So, yeah. If anyone wants to join the Discord server, feel free to comment, and we can see how about that. We're kind of working around on that and see if we can't get you joined for a good community with like-minded individuals. So yeah. Anyway, stay safe, y'all. It's a crazy world we live in. It's an evil world we live in, and you got to stay focused. Focus on the grind. Focus on your hobbies. Focus on the loved ones you do have that are not fake. That's what we got to do, y'all. But anyway, I'm going to end this one here. So God bless you all. I will see you all next time. Anime Gamer out, and peace.